We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. Through discipline comes freedom. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Hope is a waking dream. The more you know you don't know. No great mind has ever existed without a touch of madness. Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. To avoid criticism, say nothing, do nothing, be nothing. He who has overcome his fears will truly be free. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. He who cannot be a good follower cannot be a good leader. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. Fortune favors the bold. Patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. I count him braver who overcomes his desires than him who overcomes his enemies. Happiness is a state of activity. Happiness is the meaning and the purpose of life, the whole aim and end of human existence. Where the needs of the world and your talents cross, there lies your vocation. Courage is the first of human qualities because it is the quality which guarantees the others. The antidote for 50 enemies is one friend. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Quality is not an act, it is a habit. Happiness depends upon ourselves. What is a friend? A single soul dwelling in two bodies. Well begun is half done. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. He who is to be a good ruler must have first been ruled. Our problem is not that we aim too high and miss, but that we aim too low and hit. Those who know, do. Those that understand, teach. For the things we have to learn before we can do them, we learn by doing them. Whosoever is delighted in solitude is either a wild beast or a god. A friend to all is a friend to none. Learning is not child's play. We cannot learn without pain. The high-minded man must care more for the truth than for what people think. Men acquire a particular quality by constantly acting in a particular way. In all things of nature, there is something of the marvelous. Excellence is an art won by training and habituation. The energy of the mind is the essence of life. It is not enough to win a war. It is more important to organize the peace. The complete man must work, study, and wrestle. What is the essence of life? To serve others and to do good. To write well, express yourself like the common people, but think like a wise man. The law is reason free from passion. Poverty is the parent of revolution and crime. All paid jobs absorb and degrade the mind. Courage is the first virtue that makes all other virtues possible. Great men are always of a nature originally melancholy. The worst form of inequality is to try to make unequal things equal. All communication must lead to change. Freedom is obedience to self-formulated rules. Greatness of spirit is accompanied by simplicity and sincerity. Tolerance and apathy are the last virtues of a dying society. All human actions have one or more of these 7 causes: chance, nature, compulsion, habit, reason, passion, and desire. To perceive is to suffer. Nature does nothing uselessly. Happiness does not consist in pastimes and amusements, but in virtuous activities. Character may almost be called the most effective means of persuasion. Wit is educated insolence. All men by nature desire knowledge. Learning is an ornament in prosperity, a refuge in adversity, and a provision in old age. Wonder implies the desire to learn. When you ask a dumb question, you get a smart answer. Our characters are the result of our conduct. The aim of art is to represent not the outward appearance of things, but their inward significance. Beauty is the gift of God. The best way to avoid envy is to deserve the success you get. There is a foolish corner in the brain of the wisest man. Philosophy begins with wonder. In the arena of human life, the honors and rewards fall to those who show their good qualities in action. It is not always the same thing to be a good man and a good citizen. Fear is pain arising from the anticipation of evil. Human beings are curious by nature. Those who educate children well are more to be honored than they who produce them, for these only gave them life, those the art of living well. It is better for a city to be governed by a good man than by good laws. Dignity does not consist in possessing honors, but in the consciousness that we deserve them. A person's life persuades better than his word. All teaching and all intellectual learning come about from already existing knowledge. Saying the words that come from knowledge is no sign of having it. Plato is dear to me, but dearer still is truth. Wishing to be friends is quick work, but friendship is a slow, ripening fruit. The avarice of mankind is insatiable. Virtue is the golden mean between two vices, the one of excess and the other of deficiency. Our youth should also be educated with music and physical education. If the art of shipbuilding were in the wood, ships would exist by nature. The guest will judge better of a feast than the cook. Every realm of nature is marvelous. We are the sum of our actions, and therefore our habits make all the difference. Man is the meter of all things, the hand is the instrument of instruments, and the mind is the form of forms. A promise made must be a promise kept. Be a free thinker and don't accept everything you hear as truth. Be critical and evaluate what you believe in. 95% of everything you do is the result of habit. At the intersection where your gifts, talents, and abilities meet a human need, therein you will discover your purpose. We can't learn without pain. Teaching is the highest form of understanding. Health is a matter of choice, not a mystery of chance. The greatest of all pleasures is the pleasure of learning. The quality of life is determined by its activities. You will never do anything in this world without courage. It is the greatest quality of the mind next to honor. Happiness is the highest good. It is well to be up before daybreak, for such habits contribute to health, wealth, and wisdom. The hardest victory is the victory over self. The senses are gateways to the intelligence. There is nothing in the intelligence which did not first pass through the senses. The weak are always anxious for justice and equality. The strong pay no heed to either. The worst thing about slavery is that the slaves eventually get to like it. We work to earn our leisure. Love is the cause of unity in all things. Music directly represents the passions of the soul. If one listens to the wrong kind of music, he will become the wrong kind of person. The soul never thinks without a picture. Speech is the representation of the mind, and writing is the representation of speech. Think as the wise men think, but talk like the simple people do. Happiness belongs to the self-sufficient. A tragedy is that moment where the hero comes face to face with his true identity. The intelligence consists not only in the knowledge, but also in the skill to apply the knowledge into practice. The fool tells me his reason. The wise man persuades me with my own. The ideal man bears the accidents of life with dignity and grace, making the best of circumstances. We become brave by doing brave acts. Law is order, and good law is good order. Good habits formed at youth make all the difference. Justice therefore demands that no one should do more ruling than being ruled, but that all should have their turn. Greed has no boundaries. If you would understand anything, observe its beginning and its development. To lead an orchestra, you must turn your back on the crowd. The aim of the wise is not to secure pleasure, but to avoid pain. Fate of empires depends on the education of youth. The secret to humor is surprise. Change in all things is sweet. Character is revealed through action.